So we'll look at the setup to start with. Obviously the right hand one we can see here now much better in terms of that kind of ball position, okay? Yes, we don't want to go too far forward obviously, but somewhere around the sort of blue and green line there is absolutely fine. It's just down sort of your shoulder and your left side of your face there, perfect. This one you can see when you kind of get set up here now, there's kind of like a sort of step with your foot there, and that for me is just a little bit too far back in the stance there. It's kind of more directly down to the middle part of your head there, okay? It's just a bit too far back, and as a result of that, your body weight now is going to go in this direction, almost to try and hit it from back here. You're not going to really want to go to this way, because if you've got the club face slightly open, as we saw anyway, and you move to the left, the golf ball's going to go over there somewhere, and that's been where the shots are going. So you're trying to do things to avoid that by leaning back and pulling with your arms. If you actually look at these two impacts here now, again, backswing for me is looking great. We did that about 2 or 3 lessons ago, sort of increase. I learned the backswing mainly with a driver, but it's kind of sort of stemmed through the bag. Really good turn there, getting you back to target, much higher, much more width now, nice extension of the arm there, very, very good. And again, the same in this position here to the top. So these two positions now, really good, okay? It's now getting you from here to move onto that line. You look at this impact position here now on the left, you can see sort of separation your knees there, right leg kind of staying back. There's basically impact, the golf ball now just about to start to blur, as you can see, and that's your impact position. I would say that this leg and shoulder are leaning back quite a bit. You look at this movement here now as you start moving into the line, now your right knee starts kicking in, and there's impact.
Yeah.
You're now on that yellow line a lot more, and it's the confidence to sort of feel as though you're swinging as far left as you can, while at the same time obviously moving this way towards target. You look at those two there now, I mean that's chalk and cheese for me.
Yep.
I mean your right knee now is going towards your left shoulder, okay, rather than your left leg going towards your right shoulder. Yeah, you've moved towards the target. You're going to get a much better strike now because your hands, the club face, your lead arm, all nicely down through a sort of straight position there. That's a very, very good impact position. Okay, and then from there now as we rotate through, you're able to rotate through. That right foot now is on its toe rather than back behind the heel. Okay, and you're just trying to like help it somewhere left. And I think the one thing, if you could think just even one thing from today, whenever the ball's going right or left, think club face. That is what's sending it where it's going. The problem is people try to adjust the club face by how their body moves, by leaning back here and twisting here and doing this and all these different movements. Just got to control that club face with the hands and arms. And that's why I said the importance of controlling the club face with your hands and arms is something you can practice. Stand on a driver range and think, how far left can you hit it? How far right can you hit it? Just try and manipulate that club face so you really get a feel of what the back of your left hand or your palm of your right hand is like when you're doing these different shots to maybe control where the golf ball's going. So when you're on the golf course, then if you don't want to go a certain direction, you're not going to stand there and go, I don't want to go right on this one, and then try and swing it as hard left as you can, and it just go and slice right. Or likewise, I'm going to go left on this one and try and swing out to the right and a big old hooky one that way. Learn to control the face, and again, sometimes a bit of fun. How much hook can you get? When Tiger came out on tour 25 years ago, people were mocking him, going, look at these stupid shots he's doing. Oh, he didn't have 70 yards slice. What's he doing that for? It's stupid. It's going to ruin his game. And then 6 weeks later on the golf course, he's got this 3-wood now from 2 shots. Oh, he's practiced it. So he's done all these different shots. There wasn't a single shot that he had never practiced before. You couldn't think of there was not a single shot in the game of golf he hadn't tried. So he just had all the shots under the sun. Okay, he'd be better at certain ones, obviously. And you try to avoid certain ones, most obviously. But if you've got a limited amount of shots or limited amount of control, then when you're on the golf course, if things start going wrong, so what do? If you've got kind of like a cover-up sort of swing, and if I'm starting to hit the ball a bit to the right, okay, start getting that club face squaring up a little bit more, go straighter. Yeah. If you start trying to avoid the right by pulling back left, you hit the ground behind the golf ball, then the ball moves back, then you move back, then it's just a vicious circle. And it gets to the point where you'll be playing to 15, 16, 17, 18, playing nicely, and then you sort of shoot like high 80s to low 90s, and it's not quite so good, and it's like mid 90s, and it just starts creeping up a little bit, and you can kind of cover up a little bit just because you're a good player. But you make it hard on yourself, isn't it? Let's make that bridge across the thing a lot wider rather than being 2 foot wide. We can still cross the 2 foot wide bridge, but won't make it so difficult. Okay, makes sense. So some good movements there. If we can get yourself into that position more, that'll be the sort of true test. If they start going off to the right, even if you felt like I'm sure I used my hands there. The golf ball doesn't lie, unfortunately. What that club face is doing will tell you what the ball's doing, okay? And as a result of that, you've got to look at that and learn from the golf ball,
Yeah, that's great.
Good stuff. Excellent.